While our reporter Mduduzi Ndlovu is covering the funeral of the late Mduduzi Khoza. Mduduzi Khoza is the wife of PSL chairman Dr. Irvin Khoza. She passed away last week. Let's cross now live to Mdu. Mdu, a very good morning to you. What are you witnessing there this morning?
She has taught them so much, not forgetting.
You're coming to us live from Soweto, Orlando West, Holy Cross Anglican Church, in the funeral of Mduduzi Khoza, the wife of Dr. Irvin Khoza, the pioneer of the Premier Soccer League, the elite league in South Africa, the chairman of the PSL, that is Dr. Irvin Khoza. People came in droves to say their farewells to this lady who has been described as an iron lady, as a lady who loved fashion, who loved life, who loved sport and loved people around here in Soweto and surrounding areas. There are lots of people who came from different areas, especially from the football fraternity in South Africa. We'll just go and speak with one of them now. The chairperson of Chippa United is here with us, all the way from Eastern Cape. That is Mr. Chippa Mpengesi. Mr. Mpengesi, thanks for joining us here at the SABC News. What are you here to say? We are seeing people coming here for their farewells.
Yes, I'm here to celebrate the life of the wife of my brother, Father Irvin Khoza, a colleague in PSL, on behalf of the people of Eastern Cape and on behalf of Chippa United supporters. Was saying to him, we are with him. We are hearing that Mama Mduduzi, she did great, in her life, and we wish that our youth of today, especially the women and the ladies, can follow her footsteps.
Having said that, and having heard some of the things that have been said about Mduduzi, what are you taking from all the speakers that have spoken so far?
I mean, from the business point of view, when I'm hearing that she's the first woman to bring Nando's in Soweto, she has done a lot of achievements. She has broken many records in terms of business achievements. So for me, she's really a role model, especially during the time of apartheid when things were so tough. But it's one of the few people like Mr. Maponya and others, who were so brave to achieve. That's why today we call them legends, and we are really celebrating her life.
Thank you so much for your time. That is the businessman, Mr. Chippa Mpengesi, who happens to be the chairperson of Chippa United, a football club that is playing in the Premier Soccer League in South Africa. Like I said earlier, that people came in droves to attend this funeral. There are 3 marquees outside here. If you can just look at my left, there are 3 marquees that are accommodating people because the space is limited inside the church here, the Holy Cross Anglican Church in Orlando West, Soweto. There are ministers. I saw Minister Pegitele. I saw fraternities from the ANC top 6. I saw a number of people, even business people, like Mr. Chippa Mpengesi was saying that the business people of Soweto appreciate the work that has been done by Mduduzi Khoza here in Soweto and surrounding areas, just uplifting people and business people here. There are people who were born in Soweto, bred in Soweto, and they know Mduduzi Khoza. They lived with her. They know many things about her. One of them happens to be Mr. Pakstau, who is a former mayor of the city of Johannesburg. Mr. Pakstau, sir, thanks for joining us. What can you say and tell us about Mduduzi Khoza?
Well, thank you very much and good morning. I think that Osmanto was in many ways a pillar of strength to the community of Dube in particular, but also the broader community of Soweto. She was a prominent business person. She was part of a network of business people in Soweto that were supportive to a whole range of initiatives that were undertaken in Soweto, including, of course, the activism that was taking place in Soweto, in particular during the 80s, when young activism was very prominent in Soweto, and we needed a network of business people to work with. She was certainly one of those that we worked with quite very well in the community of Soweto.
What is it that we don't know about Mduduzi Because we know Dr. Irvin Khoza is very much involved in sport, especially football. What about Mme Mantwa?
Well, in many ways, her humility. The fact that she's a very strong woman, but very humble and able to express herself in a very decisive way. In her humility, she would also be able to express herself to the extent that her views, her opinions would always come across in a very strong way and would always find expression in the community and in all environments that she was in.
Thank you so much for your time. That is Mr. Pakstawu, a former mayor of the city of Johannesburg, and one who was born and bred here in Orlando, Soweto. He knows very well who Mme Mantwa Khoza is and was. And like I said earlier, there are a number of people who are here from the football fraternity, especially to support Dr. Irvin Khoza, who is the Premier Soccer League chairperson. I saw a CEO from Bloemfontein Celtic. He joined us here. And then I also saw the chairperson of Cape Town City. He has also arrived all the way from Cape Town just to be with Dr. Irvin Khoza as he says his farewells and goodbyes to his wife, that is Mme Mantwa Khoza. Back to you in studio playing.
Mdu, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Now, according to the Orlando Pirates website, the departed matriarch, Mme Khoza, will be laid to rest at the West Park Cemetery, and this funeral, as Mdu was reporting, is at the Orlando Holy Cross Anglican Church in Orlando West. We will try to get to Mdu in a short while. We are covering a number of funerals as well. It's also Kimoketswe Sebogo was found dead in the swimming pool. His funeral is happening today. He went to the Laerskool Becker. It's alleged that Sebogo was swimming with around 60 other learners during school hours when he went missing. His body was discovered over half an hour after the rest of the children had left the swimming pool. Let's get the very latest now. Live proceedings happening there. Let's cross to the funeral.
lift up my eyes to to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord who created the heavens and the earth.
The funeral service of the young Kimachetswe Seboko, whose body was found in a swimming pool last Wednesday in Gauteng. We are monitoring. There's so much hurt, so much melancholy, so much grief, so much pain. So many families are going through this morning. This is the funeral service now of Mduduzi Khoza. Let's step in there.
And the love for the football family, especially the supporters. Football. We had that in common. We both grew up in the township of Soweto, and we always talked fondly about our roots in Soweto. Little did I know that Mantua would then move on to Hellingham, to a house literally a few meters from where my mother lived. My mother passed on. She had breast cancer. And when I wasn't there, or when my family wasn't there to be with her, Mantua would be there. Mantua was the last person to see my mother in hospital the day before she passed on. She had brought her the most beautiful bouquet of flowers, and she sat there quietly as we know her with that gentle smile. For the funeral, Mantua just took it upon herself on the first day. She had organized the Orlando Pirates Choir to come and pay their condolences and sing at my family home in Hellingham. And I must say that Alex Shakwani almost lost his job on that day because Mantua had been the first one, beat him, and had brought out the choir to come and console us. But fortunately, you know that Alex is still at Sundown, so he did wake up and quickly managed to get it choir together to come and pay their condolences at our home. What I really liked about Mantua was her sense of style. I tell you, she would put people like Jackie Kennedy to shame. I really enjoyed watching how she dressed and how she walked, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. We've just arrived from Switzerland this very morning, and I missed most of the services during the week. But what I want to say in particular is that whenever I saw her in formal functions, and she would be well-dressed with a long coat just worn over her shoulders. She never put her hands into the coat. She'd wear it over her shoulders, and she would just gently tug on it like that, as she walked, her walking very steady. And she would pull the lower part as though she was getting cold. She looked just spectacular. That was Mantua, her shoes and her handbag matching. She would make the list of any of the top 100 stylish women in the world. That was my friend. The other thing I remember about Mantua was just her weird sense of humor. She really made me laugh. I remember when she came to my practice, and or rather, I'll leave my practice when my second son was born, and she brought me this very special baby seat, car seat, to the hospital. Beautiful, big in the plastic, with a blue ribbon carried by somebody when she came through the wards and was walking as she was coming through to my ward. And I could see by her countenance that something had gone wrong. And she would be like, something had actually obviously happened when she came through the hospital. And then she goes, as you all know her, Kiri, what's the way now? And she started to crack a joke. Mangwele a maputswa. Oro ke re ke apere. Ha o tsebe gore motho wa teng wa tla or wa tsamaya. She just had that special way of making you crack. You know, I've just had a C-section for my baby, and I had to hold a pillow on my stomach so as not to hurt my stitches. I really loved Mantua very much. She had a special relationship with my father-in-law, who was, may I say, one of the biggest supporters of Orlando Pirates. And Mantua made sure that when my father-in-law was buried, he was buried with the Pirate supporters there, singing together with the Sundowns supporters. There was no division between the two teams. I want to say to the Khutleng family, Mantua, friends and everybody, Mantua, o tla robala ka kgotsa, mo yang teng, ho hotle, batho ba thabile, ke a leboha.
Thank you, Dr. Motsepe. Dr. Siape and Mrs. Granny Siape, you are supposed to jointly say something. Would you come forward, please? We don't have much time. If you could work out in such a manner that one of you presents. Thank you.
It was several years ago that I happened to be in Woodmead at the World of Golf, a golf practice range, when I met, at that moment, a non-engaging person. She was exquisitely turned out in a golf outfit befitting a golf pro. The circumstances were that this professional-looking person, with all the bells and whistles, did not have a golf glove to complete the ensemble. She was with a fine-looking gentleman, now affectionately known as the chairman. The chairman, whom I knew before I went into exile in 1976, asked me to spare this lady a golf glove, to which I duly complied. We exchanged pleasantries, and Mantua had that famous demeanor which said, "Thank you, girl, you can go now." Golf can be a true test of temperament, and nothing could be truer with Mantua. But she bore the burden of golf with grit and determination. The moment I will forever remember is her pulling out a 4-iron. Those who are golfers know that there are very few golfers who can use that club. I was impressed because in my golf bag, that was one club that I had never used, and Mantua played that club like a pro. Thus began a deep and enduring relationship of over 20 years, a friendship filled with the highs of joy and laughter and the lows of sorrows and tears. We called each other Squeezer. There's no time I would explain why we called each other Squeezer. There were 4 of us Squeezers. Mantua, my late sister Tandi, who passed away in August last year, and we later inducted Skrima Chabalala into the Squeezer clan. On that fateful Friday morning, when chairman called me and said, "Madam, mokgotsi wa hao o tsamaile," I was mad. I said to chairman, "I told Squeezer not to leave the house." In my mind, I thought as usual, she had decided to go shopping for the entire family, because without fail, on Fridays she would go shopping to buy groceries for her entire family. Her sister, Dimakazo in Rockville, her late father's family in Dube and her own home in Hurlingham. I was already picturing how she would be shouting at me when I asked her why she had gone shopping against my advice. Nobody ever won an argument with Squeezer. If there's anybody here who's ever won an argument with Squeezer, may they please stand up. I was already preparing myself for that shouting match, and Chairman said, looking back, I figure he was also confused. I said to Chairman, is this Mantua who has passed away? Ana remanda utlakafezi. I do not remember what happened in the next couple of minutes. When I slightly recovered from the shock, I tried to figure out how the discussion to leave this world would have panned out. At that moment, I pictured a voice would have whispered to her and said, you are being called to be with the Lord. The voice would have said to Mantua, beware, the storm is coming. I can assure you, Squeezer's answer was, I am the storm. She didn't argue because she was prepared for the storm. Squeezer was a friend, a travel companion, a shopping companion, a weekend away companion, a pillar of support for burials, weddings, and other areas of human endeavor. She had a very rare talent, a gift for attracting all manner of people to her aura. She was loved by kings, by queens, by presidents, by artists in music and film, and by sporting personalities. She was as comfortable in the presence of powerful leaders as she was at soccer matches. She is best known for her love and knowledge of the game, of football in general, and for Orlando Pirates in particular. She has followed football locally and has traveled widely abroad as well in pursuit of her love for the game. Many will know about her many fundraising efforts for the church and other organizations. West Orlando Golf Club comes easily to mind. She was an energetic member of the West Orlando Golf Fundraising Committee. Many will know her deep spirituality. She was a staunch member of the Holy Cross Family Church. Leading to the days of her passing, Squeezer would call me and say, Squeezer, Hari Rapele, Mudimu wa phela. One of her favorite choruses is Yawa Lembeu, Yawela Imhlabeni. Iwile Imbeu, the seed that you planted, Squeezer, the seed that you planted in all our lives is germinating in heaven. Squeezer, you lived a full and rewarding life. Your legacy is there for all of us to see. You could not ask for more from your maker. Kiri Robalaka Khoza Mutau.
Thank you, Mema Siape. You are within the allocated time. Dr. Siape, you can do your 2 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. My time has been cut by 50%. I have known Squeezer for the better part of 20 years. And I will not, therefore, speak about her great works. That is about 10% of my speech. I was at a funeral some time ago, and I remember that it was after the FIFA World Cup, because there were a lot of doctors going around. So I was with Mr. Khoza at the time at that funeral. And then friends of his came, and he wanted to introduce me to them. And he says, hey, gents, this is Dr. Siape. And he's a real doctor. And as fate would have it, Manto cottoned on to that. And whenever she introduces me, she says, Dr. Siape, isn't it about Irvin? And everybody has spoken about Manto's love for travel. She was an intrepid traveler, visiting many capitals of the world. And so once when I wanted to have a little break, I invited her. I looked because I'm a man of small means, I could not compete with those trips. I said, let's take a small break. So I looked up the travel section of the Sunday Times, and those 5 nights and get 1 night free. Children under 12 stay free. You know them. Eat and drink as much as you can. So that's what I chose. And the three of us, my wife and I and herself, went to Mauritius. And we arrived late, so we were all hungry and tired. And we checked in and headed straight to the dining hall and started, and there were all sorts of manner of fish, Eastern exotic foods, red fish, blue fish, yellow fish, and my wife tucked into those with ferocity. So, as you know, Manto was picking. She didn't recognize these things and picked and chose what she could eat. And then in the room, they had all manner of drinks, wine from Tibet. I don't know, beer from Vietnam or something like that. And so my wife also took a little bit of this wine to sleep. The idea was we were going to play golf the following day. And when she woke up, she was sick, her tummy was running, she was writhing in pain. And Mandwa Mushabar, wabona, the all-inclusive is alone. Everybody has spoken about her dress sense, how immaculately turned out she used to be. But she had a very critical for her friends. She would say to her friends, "Manyo, very critical." But as everybody has said, she was always looking like a star. Lastly, I want to say that I'm sure I speak for all of you when I say that we will miss Manto. A lot of people will miss her. We will miss her bubbly presence, her jokes, and I speak for Braskrima, the little chit-chats they had. I can tell you now that she talked about you, she talked to you, she laughed at you, she laughed at you, but she loved you dearly. Aus Kelina, the children that she brought up, a wonderful memories that you'll have. And I speak also to the chairman. And the chairman shared a few moments with me, and he expressed his gratitude to have shared Mandwa's life because she was beautiful, she was loyal, and she was a wonderful human being. Finally, I say to you all, it's a singular honor for me to be here, to have been asked to speak at her farewell. I will complain later about the 50% of my time that was taken, but I say, Ausman Twafe thee well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, you're watching live proceedings of the funeral service of Mduduzi Khoza, Mayor Mduduzi Khoza. She will be laid to rest at the West Park Cemetery, we understand, and the funeral service currently happening at the Orlando Holy Cross Anglican Church in Orlando West. Now, remember, President Cyril Ramaphosa has also conveyed his condolences via statement. I did see South Africa's First Lady there present, Dr. Tsepo Motsepe, also a number of dignitaries, Andrew Mlangeni also, I caught a glimpse of him as well there. So those listening to the tributes we heard from Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe as well, talking about Khoza's style and the how she commanded the room when she entered, and the president in a statement saying that he obviously offers his condolences to the chairman, Dr. Irvin Khoza, and also spoke about his deep sympathy at the loss of a soulmate, as he describes, whose companionship, advice and support to the chairman was an important contribution, not only personally, but to the most popular sport in our society. So says the president, and may the family and relatives find comfort in the beautiful memories and life shared.